We're in New Richmond, Indiana, but you might know it better as Hickory, Indiana.
It still says Hickory right there on the post office sign here in downtown New Richmond. It was Hickory for the classic sports movie Hoosiers. Many people consider it, including me, perhaps the greatest sports movie ever made. That flashing light right there. I'm sure you recognize that one from the movie as well. We're going to the filming locations of the movie Hoosiers, and we cordially invite you to come along for the adventure.
Come along. We are standing in front of what used to be the gas station that was shown in the opening credits of the movie.
Coach Dale stops here. He pulls in about where our car is, right there behind us, and parks. If you count down 3 spots here, so right here is where the gas pumps were.
The basketball hoop you see in the movie, along with the Terhune Grain Corporation silos and grain elevator, are now gone.
So right here behind us is the 4-way stop where Coach Dale stopped.
And over across the street, over here, you would have noticed a beautiful white church.
Unfortunately, that white church was burned down by an arsonist. This man admitted to dozens of arson fires throughout Indiana and many other states, including Georgia and Ohio. He received a life sentence.
When Coach Dale arrives to the town, he drives through the areas we just showed you.
Yeah, this bridge, of course, looked a little bit different back then. It was more of a metal type bridge. That one had to be replaced. And of course, the cameraman at one point set up way down there somewhere to get a shot from the side. I don't think we're gonna try that right now.
No, I'm not trying that. We are standing in the location where the school used to be. In the movie, you would have seen Coach Dale drive down this road and turn left about right where that yellow house is.
The bugs are bad out here at the school.
Nom, nom, extra protein.
So you would have seen both of these houses. We saw both these houses in the movie. This one, part of the porch there, and that one next to it, and that's about where he turned. He pulls in right up in here. Now you see there's no school here anymore. It is a post office. Unfortunately, back in 1994, the school was a victim of arson twice. And eventually they tore it down and put a post office in here. But this is the spot.
We are now at Hickory Cafe. What? You've never heard of it? Okay, well, it used to be an abandoned building, but they turned it into a barbershop for the movie.
Yeah, at the time of the filming, it was abandoned. And actually, a gentleman that lived here in town said his job was to keep it warm in there, keep the furnace going overnight, the night before the shoot, because it was 10 degrees and snowing on the day of the shoot. Now, this is where Coach Dale first comes to meet with the people of the town and kind of get to know the folks of the town. The meeting doesn't go too great, but this is where it took place, right in there. Let's take a look now inside the Hickory Cafe at where the barbershop was for the movie.
We are at what used to be the Corner Cafe.
Yeah, it appears to be, or it definitely is, shut down now. This is where Dennis Hopper made his first appearance in the movie. Of course, Coach Dale and Cletus are sitting there eating at the counter, and Dennis Hopper, shooter, shows up. Let's peek inside. To the left as the entrance shooter came through. Then you see the counter where Cletus and Coach Norm were waiting. They were waiting, of course, on the left side of the counter there. Everything still looks strikingly similar to how it did in the movie. Coach Dale in one scene walks right underneath that blinking light up there and comes over here to where the barbershop is. They ask him if he wants a haircut. He says, "Who cuts your hair? Yours truly." He says, "Nah, I think I'm gonna pass on that." Then he sees someone in need of help over here.
Myra's mother, Opal. He came and helped her, and then Myra walked up. And then Opal said, "Would you like to come to dinner?" Or something like that. She offered him to come to dinner.
Yeah, that part, Opal was played by a lady by the name of Fran Person. She actually lived to 101 years old for passing away in 2012. Now, we'll flip around right here. We see 3 more buildings that were shown while he was helping load up the stuff in the car, in the truck. You see the United States Post Office, which is still United States Post Office. Then here was a bar and grill, and a grocery store was right there.
We are at Principal Cletus Summers' house.
You can see the red house there. It shows up in the movie. There it is, up on top of the hill. However, the house that was used as the garage that was used, the white one, as the exterior of Coach Dale's house was somewhere over in there. It's gone now. And then the big white barn was right in there. You can still see remnants of it. It's fallen down, unfortunately, but we're gonna try to get a closer look at it.
The big white barn used to stand right here. It's the building you see on the left. The one in the middle was Coach Dale's house. Then the red house on the right is the only one of the three still standing today. Here are the remains of the barn.
We're at the church where the town folks held a meeting to try to get rid of Coach Dale.
That's right. I think the vote was something like 62 to 45. They were going to get rid of Coach Dale. But Mrs. Fleener stood up for him. That didn't do him a whole lot of good. But the big difference here was Jimmy shows up. And everybody's like, Jimmy, what are you doing here, buddy? And he says, I want to play again. And everybody's like, yeah, I told you if we got rid of Coach Dale. But then he said, I only play if Coach stays. I go if Coach goes. So sure enough, they quickly called for a revote. Coach stayed.
Although we can't get inside today, we can see the big wooden doors that enter into the sanctuary. You can see them in the back of the crowd in this screenshot.
Here's the barn that they were painting Go Huskers on as the team drove by.
It's amazing to see it in such wonderful shape still. They actually said they left the painting on the barn. It stayed up for about 3 years before it eventually faded away after the movie was made. This one was a little tricky to find. We had to kind of go on a little adventure and go down a lonely gravel road. But sure enough, through Heather's intuition, we found it.
This time. We are at the actual gym that was used in the movie.
This is so cool. They've kept the place in great shape. It looks just like it did in the movie inside, apparently. Let's go in there and take a peek.
Come on.
Woo!
The players were feeling down and out, sitting on the benches right here and over there. And then the coach comes in.
I'm going to say this one time. What I say when it comes to this basketball team is the law. Absolutely and without question. This is the actual bench Gene Hackman sat on for the filming of that scene. Of course, he gave them the weekend to decide if they still wanted to be on the basketball team.
In front of the bench on the right is the spot where Strat prayed before games.
Here is where the coach comes up the stairs as he prepares to enter for the first game.
He walks up the stairs right here, circles around. Of course, this door was closed at the time. He opens it up and says something about welcome to Indiana basketball.
We are standing right where some of the people that lived in the town showed their frustration for Coach Dale.
And then the interesting thing is right here a little bit later in the movie, the press meets with Coach Dale and the town's pretty happy with him by then. Of course, Myra was up here when they asked him, are you coming back next year? And she holds up the bullhorn and says, that's a good question.
Pizzo was a genius. He wrote a script that had 11 life lessons in it. And probably the 11th and most important lesson to me was the idea of redemption. And the redemption in the movie comes in various things. It's Myra and George, Norm's redemption in their eyes. Norm is redeemed from being a disgraced college coach to now coaching the state championship team. So throughout all of the lessons that Pizzo puts in his movie, redemption becomes the most important.
Released in 1985, this movie has withheld the test of time.
And so is this gym. Very exciting. Y'all be sure to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can come along with us on future adventures.
Come along.